Do you think there's a creator?
I don't think there's a creator.
Do you think I could give you evidence for him?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can I give it a try?
Sure.
Okay. What is the evidence that there's a builder to this building we're in right now?
There would be a building. Well, the building couldn't crop up by itself.
You see that it had to take intelligence to make this building, right?
Right.
It's just axiomatic. It's self-evident that someone built this building because the building's here. It didn't come from nowhere. Now, same as creation, the cats, cows, birds, sun, the moon, the stars, human beings, it took intelligence to make that. When you get cuts, you heal. Buildings don't do that. You're so much more intricately made than a building. That takes intelligence to make, wouldn't you say? I don't believe that all atheists are dishonest. I think some have a sense of integrity. But to a fundamentalist believer in atheism, there's no such thing as absolute right or wrong. So lying is not a sin. For example, a popular atheist poster, which you may have seen on Facebook recently, are pictures of Ernest Hemingway, Abraham Lincoln, Carl Sagan, Mark Twain, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, and Charles Darwin. Along with the words, atheism, good enough for these idiots. But the problem with this poster is that Abraham Lincoln was not an atheist. He said himself, "Sir, my concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right." And neither was Carl Sagan. When he was interviewed about his new book, The Demon-Haunted World, he was questioned about his personal spiritual views and said, "An agnostic is somebody who doesn't believe in something until there is evidence for it, so I'm agnostic." Mark Twain was certainly not an atheist. He said this, among other things, "None of us can be as great as God, but any of us can be as good." Benjamin Franklin said, "The longer I live, the more convincing proofs I see of this truth that God governs in the affairs of men. And if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, is it probable that an empire can rise without his aid?" Thomas Jefferson wasn't an atheist. According to LA Times, he said, "Say nothing of my religion. It is known to myself and my God alone. Its evidence before the world is to be sought in my life." Although Albert Einstein was never a believer in Christianity or the Bible, he was never an atheist. He believed that the Creator was impersonal, meaning he won't have anything to do with us or can't. But he never denied the fact that there was a Creator. He was even angered by those who alleged that he was, saying, "In view of such harmony in the cosmos which I, with my limited human understanding, am able to recognize, there are yet people who say there is no God. But what really makes me angry is that they quote me for the support of such views." He even said, "The fanatical atheists are like slaves who are still feeling the weight of their chains, which they have thrown off after hard struggle. They are creatures who, in their grudge against traditional religion as the opium of the masses, cannot hear the music of the spheres." The father of evolution, Charles Darwin, even he was not an atheist. In fact, he referred to God 7 times in The Origin of Species. He also said, quote, "In my most extreme fluctuations, I have never been an atheist in the sense of denying the existence of God. I think that generally, and more as I grow older, but not always, that an agnostic would be a more correct description of my state of mind." Now, the last person on this picture is Ernest Hemingway, and he indeed was an atheist. But according to his biographer, the last thing that he ever did in 1961 was put a shotgun in his mouth and pull the trigger. There's your poster boy for atheism.